As the night falls, as the shadows grow dark and black, the silent paw of evil settles upon the earth. Who dares to search? Who dares to see what evil walks in the night? Our sponsor is Smart Water. It's episode 564 of the Garage War Life television program, coming to you live from Mount Gratu, Oregon. Yes, the deep, dark recesses of the jungles of Oregon, high on a hill. My wife says Helio. Yes, indeed. Here's a wonderful comic book for you, ladies and gentlemen. Tales Too Terrible to Tell, Terrorology. Reprints of wonderful 1950s pre-code horror. It's the guide to pre-code horror comics. This is issue number 11. Lots of reprints. It's very good. I've got more of these. I don't know where they are. Let's see what we got here. Why, it's from June of 1973. It's Horror Tales. A shocking terrorama where eerie nightmares of blood-sucking vampires, strange monsters, and evil beings walk the dark world of horror. There's a book that just came out that reprints all of the covers from EERIE Publications. I special ordered it. It came in after I already moved, so they got that book at that old store where I used to shop, and they'll never be able to sell it. Anyway, so someday I'll find it. I looked at the company that put it out, and it was all sold out. Pellet firing Luger automatic, lock blade stiletto. You can tell, who is the target audience for EERIE Publications. Lots of toy guns and a little book safe to hide your things, and you can look through women's dresses, and you can even have a skinhead. Horror Mike says, Tales Too Terrible to Tell. One of the great pre-code reprint mags for the awesome background info in each issue. Absolutely. Here's another fine. Why don't you mail it for? Well, no, they got it, but it's so too late. Terror Tales. Look at this. Nice stuff. People always getting, look at that woman in the background. Yeah, that's not nice. Yeah, these, these books, if you weren't there then in the 1970s, these were not everywhere. It's not like you went to the newsstand or the Safeway and these were there. I never saw these. Some kid would come to school with one, and his parents must have taken him to some sleazy ice station. In San Antonio, they call them convenience stores. They call them ice stations. It's like, where did you find this magazine? Who sells these? They were distributed only to the sleaziest places. Questionable kind of stores. Let's see.
Horror Mike says, awesome Terror Tales cover. I have a few of those poster prints they made of some of the covers back in the day. Here's Tales of Voodoo. The voodoo drums beat a tempo of terror in the witch's pit. The chilling bloody head, the spellbound horrible thing, plus other voodoo tales from beyond. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Tales of Voodoo. From April of 1973. That's like almost Barnabas Collins, but isn't quite. The pulsating terror of the bloody Wolfman, ladies and gentlemen, plus Ghoul's Mansion. Yep, he just rips the guy's head right off. This is a key issue, ladies and gentlemen. A key issue. All right. Here is from December of 1973. That apparently is a very good year, a very good vintage. Man, he's pulling her hair. Well, you know, this girl's getting away easy. Most of these girls are having their heads ripped clean off. He's just pulling her hair a little bit. And there's just a little bit of blood on her, man. They're treating her nicely. These zombies are nice guys. So, it's like I see Joe Biden back there. It's all right. Horror Tales. Now this was distributed more widely. This is not from the same company, and you can see it's not as sleazy. This is more classy. This is a more high class, high tone kind of magazine. This is from Skywald Publications. They also put out Psycho. This is the cover painting for the January 72 issue of a dynamic, most powerful horror magazine, Psycho. Yeah, I mean, Warren were at the top of the heap of black and white horror magazines in the 60s and 70s, and then Skywald had pretty good distribution. They were distributed in army bases. But these EERIE Publications books, yeah, I don't know. I would question the store owner that would actually put stuff like that on their shelves. Nightmare, February 1974. The vampire beast stalks out of hell. Yeah. The Lunatic Creations of Edgar Allan Poe. Here's an issue of Psycho. Number 11, I believe. You see, it's just not quite as horrible as those EERIE publications. We have 4 incredible viewers. Here's look at this artwork. It's a little feature on Dracula. Somebody commented on my last video. I just put up a show about 5 minutes ago. I'm probably putting up too many shows, and that's just the way it goes, man. Oh, I see. It's one of these fake comments. Yeah, I just put up episode 563, and this person puts, only for fans over 18 year, alles sehr schön, aber sonst zusammen die Nunamen 10 und 1. Then you're supposed to click on those blue letters, and I'm sure it takes you to some horrible pornography. So I will remove it. Remove. You can also report it as being spam. I guess I could do that, but I just delete it. How about that? They're burning a witch, ladies and gentlemen. This is a 2-ring circus of lunacy. These are the 1973 winter specials. So look, you can celebrate Christmas with these stories. The Night of the Mutant Eaters, The Crime in Satan's Crypt. These are some of the wonderful writers and artists. And they do a review of Ben and Willard. Let's see what people are saying over here. Horror Mike says, Eerie pubs had their revenge. Some of those issues are more sought after than Eerie Creepy, and definitely more than Nightmare Psycho. Greetings, Gratu, says Movie World. Yeah, well, they're sought after because they're so amazing. And Night Tiger says, what's up, Dr. Gratu? There's not much. They're sought after because, the eerie ones, because they were so scared. I mean, they just weren't. They were hard to find. Here's the special all ghoul horror issue, November 1973. Look at this ad for Scream, which is another one of their fine publications. Scream, ladies and gentlemen. Lead Paint is here. I haven't even caught up on all your canned videos after vacation. Now you're live. I guess I'm just killing time until we go eat a submarine sandwich at Subway. Oh my gosh, that's bloody, man. Holy shit. This guy's shooting someone right in the face. It's not very nice. And cutting someone's head off. Yeah, my mom didn't like me buying magazines like this. And this is 73, so I would have been 8. So if I was to want to purchase this magazine, I would have to bring it up to her and say, Mom, could I buy this? It's 75 cents, which is kind of expensive. And she'd flip through it, and then she'd usually say, absolutely not. Sometimes she'd let me buy one. But she had one thing, I think I've told you this before. If she saw something like that, where the something has one eye and one empty eye socket, that would flip her out. She did not like injuries to eyes, and then that would mean absolutely no, you are not going to get that horrible magazine. Let's see. I haven't even caught up on all your. Okay, Night Tiger says, congratulations on your recent doctorate. Oh, I've had many doctorates. Your package has been shipped. Oh, that's fantastic. I really appreciate it. Yeah, Night Tiger and I talked for a long time, I think Friday night, and he showed me cool comics he was unboxing. And Movie World says, hasn't Guandanaland done reprints of Psycho and Scream? I believe so. I'm not entirely sure of how good those look. I don't know. I mean, it's if you can't find them, then I guess you could go the Guandanaland route. This is what I've accumulated over many decades. Now, this is not my childhood copy. No, because my childhood copy was in better shape. I don't know what happened to it. It may still exist, but this is one that my mom actually let me buy. I guess because the cover was tame, even though it says the monsters battle for the blood of the old vampire lady. It's just it's not like it's just some old lady. It's not some scantily clad girl. And I remember, it's like, this isn't as good as Warren magazines because look at the back. There aren't those wonderful ads. Well, there's some ads for back issues of Psycho, but it's just, I love the ads because, and it's cool. I appreciate it more now than I did then. I'm just trying to flip through it, just imagining I'm my mother in 1974, looking through this and trying to. She let me buy a copy of Vampirella, I remember, that had You know, I don't think she saw this guy getting stabbed here. Yeah. Anyway, the Last Avenger 85 is replying to Movie World and saying yes, they have done reprints. Gwendolyn, Psycho for sure. Not sure about Scream. Gwendolyn is reprinting all the Skywald books. Yeah. Well, Gwendolyn is like basically a one guy operation. I mean, people send in scans and everything. So you know, I would probably say yes, he has. Let's see, Psycho. Now, this issue of Psycho has a much better cover than that one with the witch. This is a Boris Vallejo cover, as you can see, from 1971. Frankenstein in the sewer tomb of La Soube. Who dares defy the demon witch? Dreamer beware. Yeah. Last Avenger says Gwendolyn has reprinted all the Skywald books, sorry. This music takes me back to my childhood growing up in the Polish neighborhood, says Night Tiger. What this is, I've got a giant box. Damn it. I bit myself while I was chewing Mexican food last night. Ever do that? Then it swells up inside. I have a whole box of rinks. There's records that are called rinks. That's the label. And they would put these out on a subscription basis. If you ran a roller rink and you didn't want to have someone there playing the organ all the time, because this is what people danced to before the 1970s when they started playing disco in the roller rinks. Before, they would play this kind of music because it had a certain beat that's good for roller. You know, there's a certain beat. I don't know if you're a professional roller skater. You know what I'm talking about. I don't know anything, but they would take all the songs that were popular at the time and they would play them on the organ, and then they would send them out to the roller rinks. And I got a whole box of them, so I got hours and hours of this roller rink music. So if you're older than me and you hear this music, it immediately takes you back to roller rinks. But let's see. Lead Paint says Skywalds are good in short bursts of reading. I have the whole nightmare from Skywald. Read the first volume with passion, struggled to finish the second, and decided to take a break. Yeah, may take a while to finish the last 3 or 4 volumes. They're a lot cooler to look at than to actually read. Some of them. Look at this. Now that looks like someone that Joe Biden would appoint to a high office. He looks like someone that would be good to be maybe the Surgeon General or something, you know. Maybe not quite perverted enough to be part of the Biden administration. He's the Slither Slime Man. Joe Biden, the creep who slithers, half dead, half buried, into the graves he doesn't own, to defile bodies he doesn't know. His filthy, age-matted fingers grab the earth, tear at the coffins underneath, rip up a crumbling skull, and horribly display it for you. Let him slide into your horror mood. Absolutely. Yeah, this is the kind of art that you are dealing with in these. This is a good story. This corpse. It's a good story. Yeah. Psycho number 9. Number 9. Let's see what we got here. So let's see. So they know what you're talking about, but you don't know what you're talking about. So they know what you're talking about, but you don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what that means. Skulls with hair are always cool. Perfect for the swamp, lol. Would you say Warren's magazines were better than Skywald's? Yes. That's no MAGA, according to Magra too. Macabre tales to blow your mind. Psycho, scourge of the devil's woman. That's the face you make when you step on a Lego on the floor. And she's not having a good day either. The Chamber of Chills awaits you in this terror-taught issue. And here's a lovely back cover. This is from September 1972. It's got some pretty good artwork here. See, they're selling some movie posters here, but the thing I liked about Warren, oh, that's good. This is some good artwork. Mags, Mother Gratu approved. No, none of these. That one I showed you with that witch cover was the only one of these that I got when I was a kid. And these have all changed since then. This one I didn't get as a kid, but I remember admiring it on the stand. And I remember like in San Antonio. It was at the Army base there, Fort Sam Houston. Christopher Lee looks a little brain damaged. And then you got Quasimodo, you got the Mummy, which that looks kind of like what Joe Biden used to look like about 20 years ago. And you got everything's backwards. You got Dr. Phibes, you got the Phantom of the Opera, and Frankenstein's monster. The classic creeps. Now, just a little bit of comic book advice. CGC doesn't mind if you take a little. Show you. This is a comic book trick. You take, not that, damn it. Take this, right? And then you just put a little dab of that, and you can get rid of those spine ticks. And CGC will never know. That was no, just kidding. Don't do that. That's called restoration, right? Let's see what people are talking about. Night Tiger says, Gratu, did you know Comic Collector Geek has every Warren magazine was published in his collection? Yeah, he was saying that on the show the other night. Yeah, that's amazing. Warrens are much better, I think. Yes, they are. There are a bunch of bad Warrens as well, but there is usually something redeeming in most of their mags. Most. The Psycho cover painting totally lifted that woman pic from a Mummy film still. A later Hammer one based on the cleavage. Yeah, they're right. I know. There's a lot of stealing involved. Warren put out in the latter days of Warren, they put out a magazine called 1984, which they changed to 1984 when it got close to 1984. And that magazine had some really good artists in it, but it was they pushed the levels of bad taste too far, to the point where it was just obnoxious. And see, the women have a much better time on these Skywald covers than they do on those EERIE publication covers. See, she didn't have any. Well, I guess she does have a little bit of blood on her blouse, or shirt or whatever. That is, that picture there is stolen from the picture of Dorian Gray, right? And everything is. They had art. They had stuff they stole from everything. That's kind of the European way, those European magazines. And there were a lot of European artists, I guess, and Filipino artists that worked for these. Oh, there's Joe Biden again. What do they got here? The horror and mood magazines are the most vital, constantly moving ahead, breaking new ground, using consistently innovative stories from Writer's Digest magazine. Okay. um, sure. Here's it's a special origin of Count Dracula, Lord of the Living Dead. I don't like Dracula to have long hair, man. He's not a hippie. He should have short hair. I like this art in the back. I don't know. Did they use that as a cover? They seem to be implying that's the cover of number 7. That's pretty good. The Saga of the Frankenstein Monster. Yeah, see, when you open it up, it's just Edgar Allan Poe. Oh, and here's H.P. Lovecraft. The great classic horror stories. Let me find a Warren magazine so I can explain to you how wonderful the ads in the back were. Well, here's Drew the dog. I almost called her Daisy. Daisy is my. Okay, so you want to knock things over, huh? Here's creepy number 21. This may be a little too early to show you the ads the way I remember them. What are you up to there, Drew? Okay, so I think I have 2 copies of this issue. Okay, in the back were these wonderful ads that you could stare at for hours. Oh, yeah, but see, this is too early. I need to get a later issue. But they would have ads like for all these 8mm movies that you could order. And, of course, I looked at these little pictures and read the little captions and imagined what those movies must be like and get iron-ons or shirts. There was just, and the ad section got bigger and bigger. This is a little earlier, but the more cool stuff there was to look at in the back, the more back issues of Creepy. I love that. And these horror decals you could get. The guillotine model kit. Yeah, they had their own company called Captain Company, and they would sell all the merchandise. Okay, let's see what we got here. Movie World says Harlan Ellison hated 1984. He wasn't fond of James Warren either. I believe I have a Spanish language issue of 1984. I'll have to check it out. I found a few other Spanish monster mags I found in Peru. We'll show in a future episode. There was some beautiful art in 1984, but it's just like it pushed too far. There was one great cover with this woman with a big sledgehammer. It was done by Richard Corbin. On the cover, it was cover painting, and she had just smashed up every classic robot. The Lost in Space robot, Robbie the Robot, all the. Did you hear people are going to Delaware to get a picture of them falling off their bike where Biden fell? Yeah, I've seen people are recreating. They're taking their picture falling off their bike in that same spot. Lead paint. What were you doing in Peru? Just kidding. I was living there with my wife for several years. My wife is Peruvian. I go down there all the time, says Lead Paint. Huh. Or Mike, she's Peruvian, then we got divorced, and I'm back in the States. Okay, creepy. All right. Here's a beat up copy of an issue of Famous Monsters of Filmland from, I'd say, around 1976, which is about 10 years later than, I have several copies of this. That's about 10 years later than what I was just showing you with Creepy. So I'll show you. Back then the ads just kept going. Yeah, this thing's falling apart. There's you can get this Cousin EERIE poster, these shirts. They tell you all the stores where you can buy these shirts. Let's see. Baumgar's Family Center in Algona, Iowa. I remember there was a store in the Forum Mall in Arlington, Texas that had one, but I don't see it on here. Anyway, you get masks of Cousin EERIE and Uncle Creepy, a bust of Frankenstein, paperbacks of Planet of the Apes. All these records here, and then all these movies you could order. This is before VHS. All the model kits. I've never seen these in person, these glow heads of monsters. I've got this. This is a monster movie version of Monopoly, where you're a horror movie producer. And it's just Gangster Home Movies, Space 1999. It kept going. It's like a wonderful catalog of everything cool in the world. Monster masks, hands, old radio shows, these great records that Wally Wood covers. And it's all stuff you could order. Sometimes you'd actually get it if you sent off for it. Sometimes they'd rip you off, but it just was so cool to look at this stuff. And that's one of the things that you miss in those skywalled horror mood publications. All the Star Trek novels, Vampirella t-shirt, Famous Monsters t-shirt. You get your own makeup, Batman and Superman radios. I mean, they just knew everything that I loved when I was in elementary school, and still love. Right, Drew? What a shit. What are you up to there? Yeah, man. Horror Mike says, never saw those glow heads either. I wonder if Comic Collector Geek has those, some rare stuff. Yeah. All right, back to the why it's an original giant horror annual. It's 1972 annual. Oh shit, I guess still got a word balloon here. Let's see. John Goris says, you'll notice after Star Wars came out, they pretty much sucked up most of the ad space in these Famous Monsters. Nice. Yeah, Star Wars was wonderful, fantastic, but it killed so much of what I loved. I mean, it really did. I mean, that's where the money was at. Yeah, it's because then the monsters stuff disappeared. Yeah, and then it became all space stuff, and they yeah, that's what happened. And then it was first that, and they were making a lot of money, I'm sure, putting R2-D2 and Darth Vader on the cover of Famous Monsters. But then Halloween, Friday the 13th, all the slasher movies came out, and Famous Monsters. That wasn't really what they could. And there was Fangoria that covered that stuff. And Famous Monsters covered the classic monsters, and it just couldn't compete, and it just fizzled out, which is really a shame. And Forrest J. Ackerman tried to come back with a magazine called Monster World, and he's got in it, and there's no his collection of movie stills were beyond compare. No other horror magazine had that amount of stuff at their disposal to fill the magazine. But his writing style, his corny little jokes and puns, I'm just not a fan of that. What made Famous Monsters so great was the art direction, was the production, the design of the magazine. And so when Forrest J. Ackerman tried to start the Monster World, it was not the same. Here's the 1974 Psycho Yearbook. That was a great cover there. I think I have that issue. I don't know. I don't see it here, but all right, fantastic. It could be that Drew is hungry. It's very possible. Here's a wonderful cover. This is a cover I remember just. This is one my mom didn't let me buy either, but I just remember seeing this cover on the newsstand. Okay, the dog is wanting food. So what I'll do is I'll go feed her real quick. I'll turn up the music so you can enjoy that while I'm gone. All right. Now those slasher monsters are considered classic. Yeah, really. Never seen the Psycho Yearbook. Cool. And Horror Mike says intermission, yes. All right. All right. God damn, I'm getting fat. Incredible. 8 people watching. Oh, shit. Okay. Oh, what do we have here? Why, it's the 1975 Scream Winter Special. This is probably about the last gasp of this company. It says, this is the face of Satan, a face often seen in the pages of Psycho. Yeah, it's more like a werewolf, man. Huh. For you biblical scholars out there, that's his face. Why, here's some more EERIE publications, Terror Tales. Just imagine seeing this magazine on the newsstand. What kind of fucking idiot would see this on the newsstand and not buy it? I thought I put this up, but I guess I didn't. The link to get on if you want to. I'm not going to be on very long today, but if you want to pop on, you're welcome to, anybody. Oh, I got to turn the music down. That was for your entertainment while I was downstairs. Drew got a nice filet mignon flavored meal. Oh, that's cool to see that ad in black and white. Something you can make a t-shirt out of. The life-size moon monster. Now, some of these stories are clearly, you just look at that and tell it's a 1950s era story. Right down to the car in the background. Room for a Witch. Sometimes they would reprint 1950s stories exactly. Sometimes they would kind of trace over the 50 stories and add lots of gore to them that wasn't there in the original. To all our gore-dripping, ghoulish monster lovers, start a Yaeki horror pictofiction collection. Pictofiction was an EC term. Here's your golden opportunity to start a spine-chilling, terror-gripping pictofiction weirdo collection of the finest horror tales ever published in the world. Get in on this grave bottom offer, and who knows, your startling, ghoulish pictofiction collection may be worth a small fortune as the bloody years roll by. I guess that time has now come. Those are the prices you could pay. $2.75 for some of the back issues then. The comic retailed at that time for 50 cents. This is November 1970. Looks like they had a pretty good sense of humor about the shit they were publishing. All right. Trying to get this box better organized. See, I had all these EERIE publications. Then I go into another company, and then it goes back to. They cobbled the hell out of those. Shit. Damn it. What are you up to, Drew? Knocking shit over? Motherfucking hell. Come here, Drew. Come here, Drew. Let's do something fun. Let's go over here. I don't give her attention during these live broadcasts. Bad things ensue. Okay, Drew, I'll be right back. You're only doing this show for a little bit. Okay. All right. She was knocking shit over, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Here's Barnabas Collins making a guest appearance. There's Jack Palance and interesting people in the jars. And you can get a book about freaks from the publisher. You won't believe your eyes. Comic Quirk says, hey, hey, hey. That you, Fat Albert? Okay. Oh my gosh. This is December of 73, it looks like. The Hungry Corpse Makers. I'm fat, but not Albert. Call me Jimmy. We're all fat here, ladies and gentlemen. All right. This has some moisture damage. And someone scribbled on it with a crayon from October of 1978, the later period, Terror Tales. See that blue crayon? I assume that's scribbled on and isn't actual, as the artist may have done that themselves. That girl doesn't look like she's been heavily fucked up. There's no blood on her. Oh, some guy's coming in to rescue her. I think by this point they were making the covers a little tamer. She's had her neck bitten, but she hasn't had her head ripped off. Comic Quirk says, LOL, beautiful. So it's like this. All right. Here's a classic from April of 1968, ladies and gentlemen. It's chilling fiction, weird. Only 35 cents for shock terror suspense from the world beyond. Uh-oh. Drew's trying to come in through the other door. Oh, boy. Drew, I'll let you in. Just don't fuck shit up, man. Maria, what you doing, Drew? What you got? Oh, Drew, how dare you? Drew, let's go this way. Drew, this way. Come on. And we're back. Let's see. Reminds me of those old Frankenstein and Dracula movie posters. That cover looks like it came out of a high school art class. John Goris says, ever see that Aurora model kit of the screaming young lass called The Victim? Yeah. Some feminist scolds had it taken out of commission. Should have bought it when I saw it. Yeah, they reissued it about 10 years ago. Hi all, is it intermission time already? He had to drop a deuce. No. I put Drew couldn't get in the room, but she started chewing on a little souvenir that a friend of mine gave me from Las Vegas of a chorus girl that used to be on the refrigerator. Anyway, so I took her and put her in her little cage, her little house. And as soon as the broadcast is over, I'll let her back out because she's getting mischievous. Okay. Oh, here's one of the classic covers, ladies and gentlemen. Terror Tales, featuring Meet Me in the Tomb and the Shelf of Skulls. Yeah. See, these women weren't treated quite as well. This is from May of 1969. Yes. Hope you're not eating dinner, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. Terror Tales. Here's one from June of 1970. Weird Tales of Shock, Terror, and Suspense. Yeah, it's a different take on the Bride of Frankenstein. Yeah, inside you see it looks very 1950s like. And let's see, it's 1950s, but then they've added the blood splashes. They alter the art. So, how about that? Oh, this is an earlier cover, October 1966. See, this is the full painting. You see, they just zoom in on it. So, anyway, hope I'm not getting sick. Monster-sized movies, Polaris nuclear sub. Yeah. So, how about that? Oh wait, this is the one we were looking at. We're looking at the wrong one. This is the one I just pulled out. The older one. Can't tell the difference, really. Yeah. That's a famous story. I've seen that reprinted elsewhere. Where these people have their heads shrunken. Heads of Horror. This is a new model kit. Lead paint. No, that was, if you're talking about the victim, that was part of the 1970 horror monster scenes. It was torture chamber model kit set. Vampirella was one of the kits. One of the most sought after and high dollar issues. It's that cobbling magic. Which one, Horror Mike, is the high dollar one? The one where the guy's chewing on the girl? That's probably what you're talking about. Yeah, that's got it. To me, that's like the height of the high point or low point or whatever you want to consider of that company. Now, this is Tales of Voodoo from 1971, March of 71. A little more science fiction-y cover, still a little bit of blood there. Here's March of 74, Tales of Voodoo. It looks like the pose that the vampire's in looks very similar to, I I think, a cover of either Dracula Lives or Vampire Tales from Marvel. The guy chewing on the vampire chicks. Yeah, what does that go for? What is the what? I don't know. Have any idea what the current market is on these books? They used to be affordable at some point. I mean, when I bought them, they were affordable. Here's Tales of Voodoo from September of 1973. Right as I was starting third grade, this hit the newsstands. Yeah, see, the back cover is just part of the story. Let's see what he says here. I sold one very good to a private collector for $90 a short while ago. Do you have a lot of these? Or do you keep a set and then sell your extras? How do you? Because if you've got some that I don't have that you're selling, let me know, and maybe I could buy them from you privately and avoid eBay. Oh my gosh! I guess she's got pants on. It doesn't look like she does, but it doesn't look like she has a top on. What year is this? 1971? No, I don't know, man. It's like a. What are they doing, man? I guess she's dressed. Let's see. This story looks very much 1950s. There are various books that are out on EERIE publications, and I'm sure that that in those books they tell you where the stories were all taken from that were reprinted in here and how they altered them and everything. Fur pants. I have a few. LOL. I'll send you a pick list. You got to give me your email. Okay. It was the 70s. Yeah. It sure was. Imagine if someone put these out today. Of course, they don't have magazines. Don't really exist today. Well, the werewolf is taking off the head of Dracula. You got a couple of mummies here. That's definitely the Boris Karloff mummy. And the mummy is taking care of the vampires. Tales from the Tomb, February 1972. Tales from the Tomb. I'll keep going until my wife's ready, and then I'm going to run off to Subway to eat food. He's carrying her caveman style, but she doesn't look like she's getting hurt. There's no blood on her. This is Tales from the Tomb, April 1970. That's when I turned 5 years old. I was born in April 65. But I never saw this. Trust me, they did not carry these publications in the armed services PXs. Okay, March of 73 is another Frankenstein cover. If Myron Fass was still alive, we'd see a second coming of EERIE pubs for sure. They've done it with Warren knockoffs like the Creeps, etc. Yeah, someone ought to. The people that do Shudder and Vampirist Carmilla ought to try this. Yeah, I bet it would sell. If something like this showed up in a comic store, I think it would sell. At least it'd sell to me. Yeah, this didn't go over too well when they just called it fucking Tales from the Crypt, and I'm sure William Gaines sent a cease and desist letter pretty quickly because this is July of '68. And then in 1972, there was a Tales from the Crypt feature film from a British film studio, Amicus, and they, which was kind of like Hammer, kind of that kind of. But anyway, they took EC stories and made a Tales from the Crypt movie, and then the sequel was called Vault of Horror. And so, this was still an intellectual property that William Gaines owned, the title Tales from the Crypt. Um, I mean, it hadn't fallen into public domain. Yeah, so this is not the EC Tales from the Crypt. It's got a pretty bad spine roll. What can you do? It kind of adds to the seediness of them. Tales from the Crypt. Tales of Voodoo. From May of 1969. This came out when I was 4 years old. He's trying to get to the heart, but there's a lot of boob meat he has to go through first, I guess. It's like if Dolly Parton was a vampire, it's going to be tough to kill her, right? Let's see. Yes, all they'd have to do is get a few artists to do the extreme covers and reprint the pre-code stories inside, LOL. That Tales from the Crypt is sought after. Well, if I disappear from YouTube, just assume something's happened to me, and I'm sure my wife will sell these. Just don't try to rip her off. You know. But, yeah, but I'm not selling these. These are my pride and joy. October '67. Weird. They got pretty thick necks, don't they? Both of them. That's not a very female neck. It's like the Sonny and Cher of horror magazines. A lot of these have rolled spines. They were read heavily by the children that purchased them. Blade of Horror. Yeah, I assume children bought them, or damn it, or people like this probably were, if he was alive then, maybe he had these magazines. Maybe he had a subscription in his jail cell to these magazines. Weird. Oh, another Tales of Voodoo from September 1974. This one's in much nicer shape than most of these. Now, these girls looks like they're doing a little bit better. She's got a couple of slight little cuts, little scratches, but are they vampires? Yep, they sure are. Vampires in their bras. You check out Mike Hoffman's EERIE. I don't know. Do you have that issue with the deranged hippies holding the signs saying "down with violence" while committing heinous acts of violence? That's another one. I think there's several hippie ones. I've got one hippie one. I think I do have that. I hope it's in this box. The art is very good. Frazetta inspired. Stories are so-so. Oh, the EERIE with the Y? Oh, okay. No, I don't think I've heard of that. Did it come out in the 90s or something? I don't know. The Weird Corpse. Witch's Tales, February 1972. Oh, it's got an artist no, it's not. I thought that was an artist signature, but it's not. The Hungry Ghoul. It's a current magazine. I think he only sells direct from his website. Okay, no, I don't. I need to look into that. That sounds very cool. EERIE. Okay, this is a different artist. July of 72. I like this, man. That is so great. It's just all the different types of monsters just really hate each other and are trying to fuck each other up. Yeah, this is the kind of thing my mom would not like. My eyes are gone. I'm blind. Because my mother, when my oldest brother was born, he was flailing his arms around as a baby and scratched one of her eyes. And I guess she had to go to the doctor or something. And so she was really, injuries to eyes bothered her. That's a real mess. It's gruesome gore fest in these books. The Mud Creatures. All right. I've got to get magazine bags and boards, I know, for these books. I just don't have them. I'm cheating. I'm looking ahead to try to see if I see that book we were just talking about. You know, I think I have the hippie cover, but I bought it a couple of years ago, about 2, 3, yeah, right before the pandemic, and I don't think it wound up in this box, so it's in another box, possibly in that closet. Someone wrote 30 cents on this because I guess they sold it at a garage sale or a flea market or something. Great cover on that Witch's Tales. He's fine comic art for decades, but is self-publishing now. You would like it, Grotto. More of a fantasy angle than horror, but some horror as well. Cool, yeah, definitely got to look into that. Oh, there's a text message. I have to wash the sink because okay. All right, so my wife is going really slow with time. All right. I don't know if I just showed I think I have 2 copies of this particular issue. Did I just show you this? That's Weird from October of 73. Yeah, here's another one that's where someone wrote 30 cents on it. March of 74, Witch's Tales. January 81. By this point, they were influenced by Star Wars, and they're trying to get spaceships on the cover and planets and space invaders. They were trying to do too many things. There's an oldie but goldie. And then here's one from June of 77. I know. I'll find that hippie cover. See what else is in this box. Well, here's another copy of Nightmare, which is in EERIE Publications. This is Skywalt. It says there's only one Dracula, but Marvel had a Dracula, and Warren had a Dracula too that Vampirella interacted with. This October of '73. They would have little stories on EERIE Publications wouldn't, but Skywald would do these little stories mixed with the comic art about current movies or older movies. They're letting you know the All Ghoul horror issue is coming. And then they would have a profile of one of the artists for the issue, so his parents could be proud. Yeah, Nightmare. This is a great cover. Pete Millar's drag cartoons. So I've got some of these. These books are. It's weird. I don't think that mycomicshop.com even lists these. It's like they don't even exist. Drag cartoons and cartoons. This is November of '69. Oh, look at this. I love when this happens. Oh, he wrote out 1313 Mockingbird Lane, City, downtown Finland. Someone with a sense of humor. But sometimes readers actually fill out the coupon with their real address, and they think they're going to order it, but they never do. And they never cut the coupon out. And then you can get on your computer now, and you can do a Google search, Street View, and you can see the house or apartment that this book used to be in. Anyone see that Vampirella movie from the 90s? It had Roger Daltrey. It wasn't that bad. Didn't finish watching it, but well, you don't finish watching it, it's not very good. Yeah, I saw it. Roger Daltrey played Dracula. I'm not sure if they called him Dracula. He was supposed to be. I think they did. It just it didn't feel like Vampirella to me, and they didn't get the costume right, and the costume is pretty damn important. I mean, that's what makes her Vampirella. If you want to watch Vampirella but without the costume, watch a John Landis movie called Innocent Blood. To me, that movie felt like Vampirella. It felt like she's a vampire girl that only preys on mobsters, mafia types. So she's good. She's good. And I look up that movie. That's a movie that seems to have disappeared. I never hear anyone talk about it. This was my, boy, it's in bad shape. December of 1970. This was my childhood copy of this. Here's one from 1965, drag cartoons. That was a whole culture, in the 60s. You hear the Beach Boys songs on the radio, and you could pick up these magazines. This one's from October, November of 64. It has Big Daddy Roth on the cover. And on the back cover, a photograph of him. Christopher Schneider, I saw it. It was horrible. I guess you're talking about Vampirella. Frank Locio was great. Innocent Blood, yeah. Blood. Oh, you put Innocent Blonde. Okay. I read Blood. I knew what you meant. There's one in here that's autographed. I was at a car show, and Big Daddy Roth was there, and I didn't have some of it. Actually, have his original. This, see, even it's supposed to be Big Daddy Roth. It's not his actual art, but I had him sign it, and he dated it too, 94. Wow, it feels like it was just a couple of years ago. Okay, so there are more EERIE publications here somewhere. Question is, where are they? Maybe in this closet. Okay. They're around somewhere. That's the one where Vampirella has small breasts. Nice one, girl, too. She was kind of athletic, not as curvy. Yeah, they didn't cut it with Vampirella. But best would have been that girl from Heavy Metal who died, Julie Strain. Actually, Paulo is here. Hey, I think you need for Vampirella someone that is of Spanish descent, because Vampirella was painted by Spanish artists, and to me, she always looked Spanish, dark complected, olive skinned, and Julie Strain. I didn't know she died. She was a little too. I mean, she had fake boobs, and she was pretty, but I don't think she would have been a good Vampirella. I mean, I don't know. I think that the guy that did one of those guys, Eastman or whatever, Lair, with the created Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, married her because he became rich, and so all of a sudden he could marry someone like Julie Strain, kind of like Elon Musk had his pick of whoever he wants to date. This is a great cover. Whereas Elon Musk, if he wasn't a billionaire, would let's see. They should have convinced Carolyn Monroe, but she didn't want to get that exposed. Oh, was that right? Well, she would have been good, but they had a girl lined up to play Vampirella in the late 70s, Barbara Lay, and she was on some of the covers. And Hammer was going to do a Vampirella movie, and it just never came together. Now, meanwhile, at the same time, here's another Skywald publication. I had to put this with the others. This is Hello Rider. The same people that did, same creators that did Ghost Rider a little bit later. So this is a prototype of Ghost Rider. But anyway, this is it's funny. I always thought Vampirella should be played with some Greek or Middle Eastern. Yeah, but that would be good too. Strain was a little too strong looking. She liked the feminine softness. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that guy, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle idiot, also bought Heavy Metal, and he bought her. He married her, and then he made a sequel to the original Heavy Metal animated movie called Jack 42 or Tack. I don't know. It's like Heavy Metal Tack, some stupid name. And then Julie Strain was the model for the animators, and it was unwatchable. Here's Marvel's attempt to do horror comic art. That's a great Frankenstein head. Yeah, I was completely forgetting Marvel's entry into this. Marvel was, I would say Warren and Marvel were at the top, and then there was, Skywald and EERIE. I don't know. I mean, in a way, you could say EERIE should be at the top because it was so ridiculously over the top. But as far as quality reading, and interior art being good, I mean, EERIE Publications is all about the packaging, And then Warren also tried to recreate the feel of EC's war comics, because and Creepy was consistently a horror comic magazine, but EERIE, right in the mid 70s, it kind of switched over from being just like Creepy and became like a weird superhero. I mean, horror-related superheroes, anti-hero, villain. This is Creepy, but see, EERIE would have sword and sorcery characters and Western characters, but they would be horror kind of characters. So, and they would be continuing stories. So EERIE was, after that point, you couldn't just pick up a random issue of EERIE and have self-contained stories. You'd have to kind of know what's going on. Here's 1971 Yearbook, Famous Monsters. This Stan Lee, Monsters to Laugh With, is actually, believe it or not, it's actually kind of funny. I don't know. I mean, it's just movie stills with little captions, and the dinosaur saying, "You're a hell of a long way from Vietnam, pal." It's just Stanley. It's fucking. Let's see. Yeah, he would touch on some kind of touchy topical humor here. And she's saying, but I thought the pool was integrated. Yeah, anyway, it's a humor magazine. This is 1964. This is early. He tried to do something like this in around 72 and bring back this format. It was, yeah, 64 is pretty early for Vietnam jokes. Lyndon, the young Republican, sent me. Yeah. So, what did those magazines do to me? Did they warp me? Well, here I am in Art 2. So this must have been high school. What? 1981. Well, I graduated in 83. So I'd be at, oh, I guess this is 10th grade. Here I am in period 7, art 2, and this is a sketchbook. Every day at the beginning of class, the teacher said, I want you to draw a quick sketch really quickly while I call roll. It was like an exercise deal. Yeah, Carolyn Monroe would have been a great Vampirella. I actually think so too. Star Crash, Drive-In back in the 70s. Vietnam humor, dig it. Carolyn Monroe is great in the last horror movie with Joe Spinell. It's very meta. Yeah. All right, so let's see. Even then, I hated the UPC code. Look at that. Just put an X through. Well, on February 4th, 1981, I drew this sketch. And then the next day, I guess I drew that. We were supposed to draw a sketch of a sculpture that we were going to make. And here's a duck, an alien that looks like a duck, wearing Jor-El's shirt, being shot in the head. Oh, and his fingers are being shot off, too. Huh. Oh, she has grades on the back. I got an A on that one. Look at that. You can tell I was kind of warped by these. Some of these were falling out. Oh my gosh. I got an A- on that one. Must be a. She must not have liked the violence of it. So I guess I did a more peaceful bird bringing a worm to the chicks there. Here's Satan holding a severed head. And look at that. It's a holy gun with angels. And what does it say above it? It says, Amen. Those angels have, I don't know if you can even see this. Let me see if the light is up. Is that light better? Yeah, I think I was. The fact that my mother didn't let me buy those magazines probably warped me a little bit. Yes. Those memories. April 29th, 1981. Haven't seen that one. I remember seeing her Sinbad movie. Yeah, she was in the Golden Voyage of Sinbad. She was in a Bond movie. Don't know which offhand. It was. Is it Live and Let Die? Had to be Live and Let Die. No, not Live and Let Die. It was. I don't know. Maybe. It wasn't a Connery one. Inspired by Taxi Driver, head, finger shot. Let's see, in 81, had I seen Taxi Driver? VHS existed then. I think I became like obsessed with the movie Taxi Driver. 80. Had I seen it then? Yeah, it probably. I think that's Ronald Reagan there. I liked Ronald Reagan, but I think that's what I was going for. There's an ape. He's shooting a hose at a wall or something invisible. I don't know. Oh, it's a greaser. See, it's got an old 1950s TV, and the calendar says May 1956. Oh, it's a Howdy Doody calendar. If you look close enough, I can't tell what's on television. No, something violent. Famous presidents of the United States. I drew all these presidents. Let's see. Got Lincoln, Reagan, Johnson. And then I've got Callahan, who's a moose. I've got Ford, Nixon, Carter, O'Malley, Smith. And yeah, I drew some imaginary presidents. And then a bunch of blank pages. So that's, how about that? Well, I'll look for more incredible magazines to show you. Here's Marvel's version of Famous Monsters, Monsters of the Movies. This is a great cover. And my wife just got me this a few months ago for my birthday. Of course, when Amazon sent it, it has a tear at the top, but it's Toy Ventures, and it's a special issue. It has all about the monsters and stuff, and different monster toys. There's nice use of negative space in these drawings. I've been drawing forever and still haven't managed negative space. I think it's just negative space caused by the fact that I drew it in like 5 minutes because we were just supposed to draw while she called roll. It was just basically a way to keep us quiet while she did what she had to do. Okay. Those were the days, my friends. We thought they'd never end. We thought they'd last forever and a day. Oh. Hello? That's okay. What's up? Okay, what's going on? All right. Oh, well, yeah. Well, let's get something to eat, and then we'll watch that movie and whatever else. Oh, okay. Okay, what? Okay, what's the just? Okay, hold on. What's up? Oh, I get you. All right. Well, Okay. Okay. All right. Excellent. All right. Well, anyway, well, I'll come up there. All right. Love you. Bye. Goodbye. All right. What is going on here? Well, I'm going to free the dog from her little cage, and we're going to attempt to get something to eat. So I hope you've enjoyed looking at some books this fine evening. Yesterday's show, I was kind of in a bad mood. My wife said I was hangry. I was hungry and angry at the same time. It's Lead Paint says, see you, Gratu. Yeah, so anyway, hope I didn't piss anyone off with my fury and my anger and my tomfoolery. I will see you guys soon. So have a blessed day. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.